guitarist, rapper, poet. I wish I was more educated on like people who put plays and musicals together, on what those people are. Playwright,
yeah.
Playwright. Anything else that comes to mind? Singer, producer. Okay, yeah.
Singer. Yep. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, just producer. Yeah, singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else I'm missing?
B-boy.
B-boy.
Yeah. No, it's a lie. There's no dancing in my catalog. No, that's not in my arsenal at all.
We've been out to the club before. I never.
You never see me.
Yeah, South Bronx. Very, very, very proud Bronx native.
That's right.
All that shit. So I wanna start by talking about the route you've gone, because I've known you from far before like the one man show concept like was a thing, and it's not a trajectory that a lot of people I know go for. In terms of being like, no, this is like where I want to like take my career. So, yeah, I'm curious about like when did that become a reality for you, and like when do you how did you decide that this was going to be like the path that you take, as opposed to going for like a more traditional, I'm going to be an artist that just puts out albums and records music videos and like, you know, the side that we're more familiar with. So.
Yeah, I think music's always been at the forefront. Like I'm just a musician and I've been that for years, but I've always had this other like storytelling side of me that I feel like I've neglected for like so long, you know, like even going into college, I remember wanting to study music, English, and film. Like that was a big passion of mine. I think my senior year of high school, I took like 2 different film classes, and I'm like, I love this shit. Like I want to do something in it, whether it's definitely a lot of it was just writing. Like that was my biggest thing. I wanted to create stories and like have them visually come to life. But
where did you go to college again?
The University of Albany. SUNY Albany.
Okay.
Yeah. But I never went the film. I wanted to minor in film, so I wanted to double major in English and music, which I did do, and minor in film. But the double major was just too much. I'm just stick to this because this is like, yeah, it was a lot going on. So I kind of just never, like we were split up into different groups in my senior year of high school. I don't think I emphasized that, but that's what I meant. Like I took 2 different film classes in my senior year of high school, and the group that I was in, I would normally write the stories. Like I was always like,
that's dope that you had film classes in high school. I didn't have that shit.
Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. Sorry, dude.
We were all trying to get into like photography class. Like that was like the one that was like, oh, that's like the cool art class.
Well, that's fire though.
But I never had photography either. I'd never gotten to that class, but but that's the one everyone would talk about.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just think it's cool that you had a film class.
It was like a class. There was a film class in which we watched films and like studied films and stuff like that. So that was cool. But then a separate class was like a media class in general.
Every day when we walk into any class, we're just praying the teacher like rolls that cart in with the fucking
with the big
TV. And this is now dating ourselves, but yeah, with the big ass TV and VHS or DVD or whatever the fuck they had. If it was like, yeah, public school funding was probably VCR.
Yeah, 100%. You pop that shit in, press play, rewind the shit, have to sit there waiting for the shit to, yeah.
But yeah, so like you just like watch movies in class?
Yeah, in this class we would watch like the classics. Like we watched a lot of Hitchcock stuff, Stanley Kubrick. There's a lot of other people.
In like the entire film?
Yeah. Wow. And like,
what would you have to do? It's not like y'all just like eating popcorn and watching movies. Y'all have to like take notes and shit.
Yeah, basically. So it was like lecture / watching the film. I'm not sure I'm pretty sure we're tested at school shit, but yeah, we would like study films and talk about them and stuff. A lot of my peers didn't appreciate it though.
Did you? Yeah.
Oh my god, like 80% of the class was knocking out. Because they saw a film that's like black and white, they're like, "Ah, this is whack." They just like fall asleep.
Oh, no.
They kind of just took the class like, "Oh, we're just watching a movie." You know what I mean?
I had this teacher, whatever, I forget what they call those classes. Like in grade school, it's social studies, and then it becomes like, I forget the term in high school what it was, but like, is it global study? I forget what it is.
Like world history or something?
No, just like history class, basically. This teacher I had, Miss Candace Tracy, shout out to Miss Candace Tracy, was really into like Frankenstein and like Dracula and like these like old monster films. And I watched Nosferatu when I was in high school, like because of her. Nosferatu is like the first Dracula. Okay. It's a silent film.
All right.
And you ever see the episode of SpongeBob with the hash slinging slasher?
The hat slinging slasher.
The hash slinging slasher.
It sounds familiar, but yeah, what happened?
And I'm a big SpongeBob fan too.
No, same, but.
So it's like about like the Krusty Krab like being haunted or whatever, and then they're like things starts like the Krusty Krab starts like flickering, and then the phone starts ringing, and then like there's this like story that basically Squidward like makes up to like scare SpongeBob with and he says the lights will flicker, the phone will ring 3 times, but no one will answer. And then those things actually start happening, and then like a figure like appears or whatever, and
it's
then
mad scary.
Yeah.
It's
like, no. But he's the person, like it's just like the silhouette is scary, but then the person's revealed is just like someone who wants to apply for a job, and they're trying to like, and then they start laughing. And they're like, "Oh, but who was flickering the lights?" And then they're like, "Nosferatu."
Right, yeah. I do remember that. I do, and it's like it wasn't cartoon. It was like a real person kind of like black and white.
Yeah, it was the dude
actual,
from the film.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, like cut out like yeah.
I did not catch that as a 7-year-old kid.
Yeah, I actually watched. I got the reference at the time, and I was like, wow, no one's gonna fucking know who this is.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a tangent. But yeah, so you wanted to take this class, or you like this is just something people got assigned?
Every class got assigned a media class, and then we had an elective class that we had to take, and I chose film. Like I was just heavy into, and I think around this time I was watching a lot of oldies, so I just wanted to like, I don't know, it was fun to me, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
And you, so you kind of like stumbled into this, I guess. Like this class, or like this, like did you were watching oldies? Would you say you had an appreciation for film beforehand, or do you think it like
before the class?
Yeah, or do you think the class kind of sparked?
I think it all happened like around this. I think high school in general, like I was just looking up a lot of things that happened before I was alive in general, and I think music was like the catalyst for that. I think I got a better understanding of what like culture was in the 70s, 80s, and the, like 60s, and even like before that. So I would come across references in songs that I just wouldn't know. And I think that's maybe how I would like, oh, what's this movie about? And I would like, so yeah, I think I was just like, I was a very inquisitive young man, if you will. Like I just wanted to know everything. And I'm still like that, So I think it all happened around the same time. So once we got the opportunity to have a film class, and I think that was the first year that they did that, I'm like, yeah, for sure. Sign me up.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like that set the stage for?
Right, yeah. I mean...
No pun intended.
Oh, very nice. This guy's a rapper, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying?
I do what I do.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been infatuated with storytelling, and I think that's a side that I wanted to like sharpen a bit more and just understand better. And that was the idea going into college. But like I said, just that double major was just a bit too much. But there was some of that in the English classes I was taking. There was a lot of creative writing classes. Also, I had a passion for a lot of things creative, so I wanted to be an actual like a writer, like writing short stories and maybe a novel. But I'm not sure if I have the same passion for that now. Maybe that's at some point in life, but not now. I mean, I kind of am, but different. It's a different form of creative writing. But yeah, I think once I got into college, I'm like, let me get into this music bag because I was playing guitar for some years.
But before you talk about like college, like going into college, did you know what you wanted to do with your life?
I feel like I did, but I was too scared to like say it openly.
So, okay. So what were you telling people versus what you knew you wanted to do?
I didn't pick a major until my spring semester of freshman year.
Okay.
And I think I became a lot more like grounded in what I wanted to become after I spoke with Professor Richie. Shout out to Professor Richie if she's watching. But she's an amazing writer. She wrote for a lot of different like publications, and I sat down with her. I'm like, "What's your career as like a writer? Like, what's that like for you?" Because that's something that I'm interested in, but I'm kind of scared to like take that leap. And she's just like, "Dude, if you want to do it, just fucking do it." It's as simple as that. And in my mind, I'm like, I want to study music. I want to understand music better. I want to be an artist. I want to tell stories, and I want to write as well in whatever capacity that meant, right? So after that, like hour-long meeting that I had with her, I just decided I was going to study music and English. I was like, this is the path that I'm on for sure.
Okay.
And to sharpen both skills. I didn't know a lick of theory going into college. I was just playing chords, I was just doing covers. Like I didn't know a lick. So I think that's why the music for me at that point in time took center stage. You know what I mean? I just wanted to just know everything about theory and play catch up. These kids were playing piano since they were like 3 years old.
I know, bro.
I'm
so jealous all the time.
Oh, dude.
I see people like FKJ. I'm just like, what I could have been.
Right? They were taking classes and all that, man.
Yeah.
My pops was like, yeah, baseball. And he gave me a glove.
Yeah, for me, football.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's another thing we
There's
both
no
share.
Trinidadian accent for football. No, I'm just kidding. No, of course there is. But that's neither here nor there. What were you saying? Sorry.
I was going to say that's one thing that I feel like one similar backstory that we do have is just our like foundation in sports and how that was like big in our lives. But
and
we
religion.
never. Oh yeah, and we never really talk about that though. I feel like we're always kind of like on the art.
I mean, yeah.
Let's talk about
it. How do you feel? Well, I want to let's put a pin in that because I think it's still like I want you to answer the question of like how you kind of came about like choosing this musical or like this playwriting, doing stuff in theaters. So you knew in college, you kind of confirmed like I'm gonna go learn music. I'm an appreciator of film, and I want to write. But did you know that you wanted to like do a show? Like, do you know that Broadway was a goal? I don't even know if I don't want to put words in your mouth, like and say like Broadway is a goal currently, but you could say that if you want, but. Like when do you feel like you knew and decided and developed into the person that like, this is the trajectory I want to go on?
I was finding myself musically after I graduated college. I was doing actually a lot of spoken word once I got to college. Mm-hmm. And that kind of took center stage then because I wasn't as good, if I'm being honest, at like playing and singing. My singing voice wasn't the best. But once I found out how the crowd reacted to me spitting, no beat, no music, nothing, I'm like, oh, I like this shit. Like Man, that was a blessing because I was a shy kid, you know. So just to have it almost felt like this like superpower, like this Clark Kent effect, you know. So when I was on stage and I was just spitting, like that's when I knew, okay, this is for sure what I want to do, like, versions of this. So after college, I'm like, okay, I gotta do more like guitar shit. I gotta really narrow down what my sound is. Did that for a couple years, then got bored of that again. Like I just constantly got bored, and I got to a point where I'm like, I need to approach the stage differently. Like something needs to give. I'm tired of just going on stage, being, "Hi, my name is Dilson. This is a song I wrote." Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. I'm glad you like. You know, like the same. It just felt like the same formula.
And kind of separate, I would imagine, because I've seen you do. No, you've incorporated both, but was it always together? I guess like poetry and singing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ish, like rap poetry. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, it's in that realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like when you like spit with a guitar, I feel like, I mean, you could tell like poetry's in your fabric. You kind of have like a very like, listen to what I gotta say, civil rights inspired kind of approach to the content and the delivery. Yeah.
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 I would say. For sure.
But anyway, getting back on track.
What was it?
And just again continuing to answer like when you made
Right. So 2019, I was a resident artist for the Inspired Word. Shout out Inspired Word and Mike Effner. And he approached me. Was like, "Hey, I have this set for you at the Triad Theater, 30 minutes."
So that was really the okay. No, continue. I'm not gonna stop you.
That was the start.
Yeah. Because I was there, so I'm. Yeah,
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm part of the story.
Yeah.
You are. You very definitely are. That's when I knew, okay, I got to approach the stage differently. I had a different set at the Inspired Word a couple months prior to that, or maybe I don't know. I did a show that was supposed to be like a story, but I didn't have a script. I kind of just improv'd it, and it didn't really land. It felt like a normal set that I was doing. You know what I mean? So going into this show, it's like off Broadway. I'm like, okay, something has to be different. And around that time, I was really obsessed with Hassan Minhaj's Homecoming King. His first special. I thought it was amazing, man. This guy had like different like projections of his family. It told his family story growing up and how that delved into his career eventually. I just thought like that was amazing. I want to do something like that. So I went to Italy for like 2 weeks for this theater program, actually. And yeah, I think that when I was just out there, shit was just spinning in my head. Like one night specifically, I was sitting down in this like, I don't know, like an Airbnb, like a villa type of situation. Like 2 a.m. at night, I was just like staring into the trees and the beautiful, just Italian, like.
Villa?
Yeah, everything. And I had this little like roll.
I've never been in Italy, but villa just felt right.
I don't even know if villa is the right word, to be honest. But it was like an Airbnb situation.
I don't even know what a villa is. Like a small village.
I don't know either. It just sounded cool, so I said it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just gave it a little spice.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I was sitting. I had my little like rolled up tobacco, and I was smoking a lot. And I just sat there, and literally within like that hour, I thought of the whole show, like in my head. I'm like, oh, I have this spoken word piece already, or this song. Oh, that could feed into my family story. Oh, okay, maybe this could be like Hassan Minhaj, like his story. Okay, like my story or whatever is that. Then okay, I could do like a Bronx poem here. Okay, I always want to do like Palo stuff, like Afro, like DR shit. So like the entire show, I just thought of. I didn't write anything down. I didn't do a voice note. I knew exactly what it was going to be.
And for context, when Mike Geffner approached you, and you agreed on whatever date, like how far away was it, like from like the date of the actual show from when you talked about it with him?
He told me, I want to say like June, like I think, I'm just guessing late June. And he said the show was going to be on September 21st.
Okay.
And I was out there in Italy like late July, still not having nothing. Essentially, I'm like, let me go out there and like maybe inspiration will strike, and it definitely did for sure.
Yeah.
And I came back like around August or so. That's when I met up with you. At that point in time, we wanted to meet, like I think it was weekly or bi-weekly, just to kind of like come up with like our own version of ta-da. I think that was the thing.
Yeah.
And then I told you that I'm working on the show, and then you offered like help. And then it kind of shifted to that since the show was very demanding, right? There's a slideshow component. There's, I'm using like guitars and the RC 505. I didn't have the MPC at that point. So just a lot going on, like technically, that I was trying to do alone, and it just wasn't going to happen. And you're like, dude, you're not going to do this shit alone. Like, let me help you. And you were shout out to you. Honestly, you were very, very helpful in laying the groundwork and the foundation of that first draft, that 30-minute version of that show. And that was just, so thank you again for that.
I just showed up and gave some input, bro. Like, I think you recall those moments like more clearly than I do. To me, it's just like we're just spending time together and working on stuff.
Word.
Like it's just like a studio session to me. But
I think I recall it better because I felt like I was on the brink of something special.
I can imagine that. I mean, I think like the inception of something that you then like focus on for years after. Like but like I said, there's no way it could. I'm very. Like, I appreciate how you always shout me out and stuff, but, to me, it's just like, like, this is what we do.
This is what
we pull up and we just, like, work on stuff.
Yeah.
And, I remember more clearly, actually, like, the sessions of us, like, just, like, teaching each other our family or, like, the history from our respective countries and us doing, like, a little bit of homework on that. And, I mean, I'll take all the all the appreciation you want to send my way. I'll take it any day. But, I appreciate it. I'll just leave it at that.
No, I mean, again, thanks. Because I'm not sure how I would have done that show without you, if I'm being honest. I like even like thinking back.
You would have figured it out.
But that would have been so stressed because I was already stressed out. Do you remember that Funkadelic? That little like run through we did of the show like 3 days before the show or something like that.
Nope.
What's her name? Carla? No, what's her name?
Charla.
Charla. She was there as well. I don't know if you remember that. It was in Studio, I think one, the biggest one.
Mm-mm.
Dude, that shit was bad. It was like 4 days before the show, and you're like, dude, I don't know.
I think it's coming to me. The way, Wait, keep going. Keep telling it.
That's it. It was bad. Like, I was messing up. I was tripping over cords, like cables. I was just like, nah. It just wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't it. I didn't know when to take off my guitar and put it down. Like, all of it wasn't smooth, and you were just like, I don't know, man. This is not looking good. And I remember telling you, like, trust me, once I'm on that stage, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. And that, to me, that meant these next 4 days, I'm gonna fucking lock the fuck in and make sure. And it was great. It was fantastic. But that's what started
because that's a terrible way to, like, you don't want to project. If you project that your stage performance is going to do better than rehearsal, you're probably not doing things correctly. You want to get rehearsal so down and like second nature that you're not thinking on stage,
Right. And I phrased it.
And you're able to be present.
Exactly. And I phrased it in the way of just like once I get on stage, I'm set. But what that really meant was these next 4 days, I'm going to lock the fuck in. It's over. Like, I'm going to, lock the fuck in.
So what was the next 4 days for you?
In my room, saying those lines over and over. I pretended like those, like everything. Put down my guitar at this moment. Put that in the script. Like, you know what I mean? Just making sure the little stuff was tightened up. Because that's what I wasn't used to. I was used to just performing songs and that's it. Like, there was no technical little, at this point, you put this here, exactly here. You know what I mean? Like, those things I wasn't really used to. So I think at that point in time, like, that's when I really was like, okay, maybe theater is a world that I could definitely just dip my toe into and see what's going on.
So Mike Geffner comes to you and says we have this date, and you basically are just like, I'm just gonna summarize everything we've been saying. You're basically like, I got to do something different. I got to do something bigger than what I've been doing. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It comes to you. What you see Hassan Minaj's special, and not immediately, but over a little bit of time, it comes to you like of what you can put together, and it's ambitious, and you don't know really how you're gonna do it. But I guess you lead with the vision, like of it, and
you always lead with the vision.
Yeah, and then you put it out in the universe, and then see how the universe reacts to you, basically, right? And that's where I guess like my role came along. Is I was really more of just like I feel like I was more of just like a sounding board, like I have certain technical skills to be like, oh yeah, but this is how we'd execute it, but I was just there mostly to like ask questions and help you refine it. And then you go, you do the show, and then like, what was the moment that you knew like this is what you want to focus on? Again, because like you can do both at a certain point. In terms of being the artist that focuses on musicals as well as like music videos and having a career, but it's I think you like kind of decisively picked a lane to focus on for a bit. So what was the moment that what was it that show, like was it just like after that show you're like, this is what I want to do?
It wasn't as clear to me after the show. Because even then, I was just thinking of the show as like this one-off thing. Like, okay, I did the show, moving on. And my governor was like, you have like a one-man show. Like, this is a one-man show. And I'm like, okay. I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh, wow.
And I had no idea what I didn't know about theater as much back then. Then my cousin Paola was like, why didn't you hit me up? She's been in the theater game for mad long. Amazing writer, director. Actor as well, and she's just like, this is amazing, like this is a one-man show. And again, I kept hearing that, I had no idea what that meant. She's like, let's work, like let's build on this. So after that, we built on that a bit more. I got connected with the Dominican Artist Collective. Not really connected, we created it off of this one meeting, one random day. And most of the collective,
oh, so you're
actors.
Like a founding member?
Yeah, you can say that. There was like 20 people.
I thought that was like already existent, and you just like joined it.
We created it that day. She and somebody else put that meeting together. We just like, she hit up mad different, like the Dominican-based artists in New York, and was like, let's talk. And yeah, it was like some mafioso shit. People were just like, well, I don't know. We just kind of set the groundwork of what this network was kind of going to be. And I think after meeting with them and doing some projects with them, and they're mostly actors, like a light bulb kind of clicked in my head of like different projects that I wanted to do in the past. Like in 2018, kind of going back a little bit, I wanted to do like this mini series, like this, not a mini series. What's the term? Limited series of like my different interactions that I've had with like different romantic partners, right? Mm-hmm. And each episode would have like a music video, and that would be like an EP, but it would also be like a show. I wanted to do that. There was other TV shows that I also had in mind that I had like outlined that I wanted to do. So I kind of knew that I already had that as like a career path, but I still saw myself as like a recording artist. It wasn't until I met with Dak and saw people kind of like, I don't know, just putting together different projects with them. It became, this was around like 2020, like pandemic. I was like, oh shit, this is my lane. The get down Atlanta kind of Dave, the Wu-Tang series. I just started watching season 3. It's amazing. Like that's my shit.
So you want to get to TV,
Yeah.
not Broadway.
Broadway for sure.
Okay.
But I want it all.
Okay,
Serge.
okay.
I want it all.
No, but what would you say is the first?
Broadway.
Okay.
With this show. This is the show.
Okay.
This is gonna get me to where I want to be, and use hopefully the success of the show as leverage to get into TV, which has been done. Like there's a couple people that have gone this route more or less.
How do you in terms of its development, do you just see it as it's ongoing until it's on Broadway?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And even if it's not on Broadway, like I just want it to be successful, period.
Or even, well, yeah, but I just mean in terms of like how much you're iterating, just changing in and out certain ideas, and like how do you think, like I don't know if Lin-Manuel Miranda is like changing Hamilton anymore.
Currently, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But maybe he is. Like some people. I mean, I'm sure like while it's on Broadway, like the first run is probably like getting a lot of things changed until maybe even the second time. Like I don't really know. And then you also like change in and out personnel because like directors move on into other projects and stuff. So I don't know if these things, like, do you view it as a continually evolving thing that, that aspect is just not gonna end?
At some point, I think there does have to be like a close the door on this chapter kind of thing. But for these next couple of years, I'm like pretty much putting all my chips in the table on this show. You know what I mean? Like this is kind of it for me for these next couple of years. But at some point, yeah, I do want to like move on, regardless of if it's successful or not.
And when you say a couple of years, so I think 2 years, and typically I think Broadway runs are like.
No, I'm talking like 5, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
but they can go beyond that.
Beyond,
that's like Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like other versions, like where other actors, like who knows, maybe someone out there would be able to do this, but it's such a specific story. Like it's literally my face.
Oh, you're saying, yeah, right. Cause you're picturing yourself. I'm just like, this whole time I'm more thinking of you on the back end of things, but I forget, like, obviously, like
my face is on
you're
my
the
family.
person in it.
But who knows what could happen?
If someone could play Michael Jackson, we can find we can find someone to play you. Like
the actor could put their family pictures.
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know. She could work.
Oh yeah, you'd have to figure that part out. But yeah. I mean, with AI, all things are possible. Just
That's very true.
Yeah, Dominican family smiling and laughing in one bedroom.
2 seconds.
Washington Heights apartment. That's the prompt.
It's not hard to find.
Yeah. So the like coming back to like the sports aspect, how do you feel like sports has affected you and your foundation? Do you feel like it's provided any pros or cons for you as a person and as an artist?
I think it taught me discipline. And most of that was through my pops. Like my pops is very, very strict, like he was very routine. He was a very like routine kind of guy. So he got me into playing baseball when I was like 6 years old. And it was also like a passion of mine. And it's something that I felt like I've lost, not to jump forward, but in the past couple of years, I gained a bit more weight. I haven't been as like body conscious and as comfortable in my own skin versus like some years ago where I was more fit. And I do feel like there's been attempts to kind of get back to that, right? That like, because this is really where it starts. Like this is the foundation for you to like grow. And I feel like, I don't know, a lot of that was very
Broadway
important.
stages are big. You gotta You gotta be in good
breath
shape.
control, all that shit, man.
Yeah.
It's really important. Do you feel that way too? Like sports was that for you more or less?
What was what?
Like it's like a I don't know, like very like a discipline kind of. I feel like football is kind of that.
Football
It gives me
yeah.
drill sergeant vibes.
Yeah. I think in terms of work ethic, it's really provided a lot for me. Just like a lot, too many artists, producers, just kind of like casually create. Like they create off inspiration or when they feel like it. And I think there's something to football about like just continually like working on your craft, continually trying to get better when you're not playing, when you're not practicing. You could be watching film, reading your playbook. There's so many things to do outside of it, and I think I'm mindful of staying on top of like improving certain skills like slowly over time, because as time goes on and as the industry develops, we have to wear many hats and get good at many things, which kind of like spreads us a little thin. So it's not just like just simply watching like how to produce, so-and-so genre videos on YouTube. It's compression videos, it's content videos, how to film yourself videos. It's a variety of things. But yeah, I think probably the most important thing that there's so many things. I can't say the most important. Some of the most important things sports has taught me is, one, you're a lot more capable of doing things that you didn't think you could do. Like the point where you think like you're pushing yourself too much, you'll surprise yourself. Like you really have to understand on like, you really have to be able to listen to yourself. Like, are you resistant to it because you actually feel like you're in some sort of like harmful, like
At the breaking point.
yeah. Or it's like the David Goggins thing. You know about David Goggins? That's a whole tangent that I'm gonna try not to go into, but he's like a super marathon runner. Who ran like the quick side story version is ran this 100-mile race, never really ran that length of a distance before going into it. Reaches mile 70, his kidneys fail on him. He like both of his feet are like fractured, I think. And he still like has like 30 miles to go to finish this race, to like qualify to get into this other race that he wants to get into. He shits himself.
Like literally?
Literally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And is at this point where he has to decide whether or not to continue, and he decides to continue. And he like starts by walking, and his like wife or girlfriend or like his partner at the time told him like, hey, you're not gonna finish in time if you like at this pace or whatever. So he starts running and like just mentally is able to like finish the 30 miles. Granted, like probably don't want to, that's in many ways like David Goggins' inspiration, as well as I think a little bit of a warning of like you don't want to, you want to push yourself within reason. So I think like just coming back to it, sports, I think one has taught me, I guess, how to listen to myself and know what my breaking point really is, and that, yeah, you could really push yourself a lot further than you think you're capable of. I think two, it's taught me a lot in accountability, not just for myself but for others. Which is why we talked about this before. It's been like easier for me to show up for other people than it has been for myself, and I've been working on that actively for the past few years or whatever. So I think I've been doing a better job of showing up for myself.
You think that stems from like football, or just that's like a general?
I think it. Yeah,
Or like an innate
I mean,
characteristic?
sports is all about like being on a team, on a team sport is all about like not letting your fellow man down. You doing your role, you
Yeah.
fulfilling your responsibility. You know, if you don't, especially in a sport like football, like you could really be someone's ass. Like someone could be hurt for life. In a violent sport like football, if you're not, if you don't do your job sometimes. So, the ability to like collaborate and work with many different kinds of personalities.
That's key in everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah.
That's something that actually my media teacher actually told us was the point of this class. He's like, I don't care if you like, no one's making an Oscar worthy movie here. The whole point of this class is to make sure, like, know how to work with people and create something. Like knowing how to, like you said, work with different people with different personalities and characteristics and all.
Yeah.
That's everything.
So what do you feel like for you sports gave you?
I don't know about, I want to answer that differently. I want to answer what it could have given me. Because I mentioned before I was pretty shy, and I felt like I'm surprised because I could be a very arrogant prick, right? Like there's two sides to me. I'm very humble and very sweet and very like, shy and just like, but I'm also very confident, like egocentric. Like those two sides often clash, or I'm either all the way here or all the way there. When I was younger, I wasn't this brash, ego confident.
This is where people
guy.
ask, "Oh, what's your sign?"
I'm a Leo. It's pretty clear.
I would have thought you were Gemini because of two sides. No,
There you go. Or Libra. The scale.
I don't fucking know. Sorry, I'm just joking.
No.
Continue.
Yeah, man. I didn't really have that ego, which I think is a good thing. Like I think having an ego, period, is great. I know there's a lot of people that's like, don't get too deep into your ego, or like don't fall too much into your ego. There's two sides of that. Obviously, too much of it is a bad thing, but having some of it is a great thing. And I didn't really have that growing up. And you would think something in like sports or like baseball would kind of give me that, and it just didn't. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know. I just felt like that was just something that I think it makes sense why I gravitated towards music. I guess going back to that, like you'd think sports would be something that would give me this like boost, but then here I am going on stage and like, oh shit, that's the moment. Like I now that's what I've wanted my entire life, to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel good about myself and what I offer other people. And I would experience that sometimes in sports, but not really. Like I would always be the quiet dude in the corner.
How do you feel like? I feel like music is, or the people who do music typically in high school were not the people. There are some, who like one of my best friends in high school was like he was taking music and also on the football team and starter and like all that. but in high school there was kind of a separation of like you had the kids who like did music, and then you had the kids who did sports, and there's very few overlap. There's very little overlap. And I think like for a while I've felt the need to subdue my competitive nature and the competitive aspects that like come, because I'm a naturally competitive person. And I think earlier on, I think the competitiveness is also what gravitated me towards hip hop and like rapping first too. Cause like that was fun. Like the idea of like, it gave me something to like work to like a craft to improve on. And I would be meticulous about it. I would really study Eminem. First out the gate, I was studying.
Yeah, same.
Studying a bunch, but Eminem was definitely a focal point. I'd listen to like Improve Tim Westwood freestyles. You know about those?
Yeah,
bro.
Trying to think of lines that he said on Westwood.
I feel like this could be the first like music moment.
This is around like, I'm thinking of the Relapse era, right? When he went on Westwood. Oh, you're going way back, like Slim Shady.
Proof.
Oh, wow, when Proof was still alive.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you know about these?
Probably don't.
I'm gonna play like when I was first like writing. And you know, we just download and torrent stuff. This was like the Dat Piff era, and yeah, like people were like just like downloading shit a lot more. There was these like I had this I don't know if it was like a album or like a mixtape or something, but it was like track by track of like Proof just going off on this like Tim Westwood episode or whatever, and yeah, so like rhyme schemes wise, wordplay, just just overall like versatility, like as an MC, personality, storytelling, like early like had it all.
Different.
Early, like he just had it all. The ultimate MC. I don't want to pull it up because there's multiple different versions that I'm thinking of a specific specific line.
These are all videos, or was it like an audio show?
Well, I had the songs. I think it was just a radio show at the time. I could just play roulette and see what comes up.
Damn, that's so interesting. Because in the videos that I was talking about, when he was on Westwood, he had somebody else with him. That wasn't Proof. This was like 2010, 2009.
Oh, he probably had Mr. Porter.
I don't know his name, but it's just, I don't know, just interesting to hear that Proof was like that guy prior to that, you know? Like, I don't know, I just wonder how that felt for him at that moment.
Damn, I don't know if I'm gonna find this. I found it on Genius, but I don't know if I'm gonna find the video. All right, let's try this.
Blasting off. Yo, I'm saying though, you understand what's going on right now, London?
two.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Y'all done started something that y'all can't undo.
And the thing about this, I just want to say, the thing about this, you could tell some of it's written, some of it's like off the top, but the way they flow in and out of it, you can't really tell. And
I love that.
And it's just like the back and forth is just like it's the real like essential spirit of hip hop, bro.
1, 2.
I'm up in the spot with Tim Westwood. You wanna step to this, you better use your best foot.
Yeah.
Flawless freestyles, I drop right off the top.
Yeah.
Take a bottle of beer and bite off the top.
Yeah.
Right off the block, straight to your neighborhood.
What?
The flavor's good, in London and I'ma stay for good. Yo, check it out, it's Slim Shady. I rip the radio right off of the S, baby. Y'all can't see me cause y'all don't wanna even be it. Y'all don't understand these freestyles when I MC it. Original bad boy on the case, cover your face. Came into place, blowed and sprayed puffy with mace. I lace the weed when a sec repellent, but I check to smell it. Eminem starts with E, but I check to spell it with a capital. Somebody grabbing a Snapple. I got an aspirin capsule trapped on my Adam's apple. Somebody dropped me on my head, and I'm for sure that my mother did it, but the bitch won't admit it was her. I slit her stomach open with a scalpel when she was 6 months and said, I'm ready now, bitch. Ain't you feeling these kicks, cunt? The world ain't ready for me yet, I can tell. I'll probably have a cell next to the furnace in hell. I'm sicker than sperm cells with syphilis germs, and I'm hotter than my is when I piss and it burns. I kick you in the tummy until you're sick to your stomach and vomit so much blood that your clothes stick to you from it. Hit you in the head with a brick till you plummet. If y'all don't like me, you can suck my till you numb it. And all the gibberish you was spitting, you need to kill it. Cause your style is like dying in my sleep, I don't feel it. And any MC to try to step to this, I throw you right off of the roof. Hey yo, bust it, proof.
Hey, listen, one of a kind, and I come with the time. Having fun with the rhyme until I'm done with your mind. Listen, now every MC got a story. Well, mine is me, and my story isn't before me, before me. Them stories too gonna style to be proved. Hey yo, since Big Daddy Kane fell off, they don't know how to be smooth. Hey yo, I seen a fat rodent walk in with Paul Roden with a Gat Houghton talking about either Sean Houghton. It's the same thing we bust when it come through with Tim Westwood. You best foot forward, can't do that. Here it is, put your good foot. We mac y'all like y'all was some hoes on Woodwood. No time for that. Flat backs when you rap, counter attack with a battle wax. You collapse for them whack raps. You tried to spit to me, I'll make you all know I'm a genius. If I hear I Enos come back holding my yo, no need to cut.
Penis.
Bust. Yo, we can't say that. Keep it the cleanest, the meanest. Slim Shady. Next single is my fault. Y'all caught outlined in chalk. Incredible as the hawk. Why I settle for sort? It's the PR. Letter O. Sex is hetero. Cash more checks than federal. You better know how you feel about that. Got a dope cheddar flow. And my man DTZ. Straight from Stress Magazine. Bag a scene. We drag your queen like she's a man dressed up. How you feel when you get pressed up, left up? It's time for that PROO. You get effed up. Yeah, it's time for that. Rhyme combat. Next up, my man Slim Shady.
Yeah, we can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking wow.
That's what I was studying and like just like in utter like over and over and over just playing it. And with a homie of mine at the time who was like my homie Josh, shout out to Josh, who at the time was just super important in my growth and like encouraging to get me to like rap, and we'd like drink 40s and freestyle and shit. And man,
Drink 40s and freestyle.
bro, that fucking
New York.
those flows are crazy.
There's something really beautiful about coming in with something written or not, and just kind of like you said, flowing in between the writtens and freestyles. That shit is beautiful. And the way that I know M for sure was on. I'm not sure if Proof's shit was 100%. Actually, no, there was a couple moments where you could hear the genuine. Okay, this off top.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's so seamless that you wouldn't even think it was.
Yeah,
They bleed into moments that you may think they are in, but maybe they're not. Like it makes you think.
I think the majority of that was freestyled, if not all of it.
Majority?
Yeah, of that, I think it was freestyled. But there are moments throughout the radio show where they definitely are like putting their writtens in.
That's fire.
But even if it's like a line, like how do you come up with a freestyle of like I got an asthma capsule trapped in my Adam's apple? To do that in a freestyle is
Dumb.
like
Stupid.
dumb.
Absolutely stupid. That is crazy.
So I don't know if that like shit like that is written if he's throwing these one-liners or something. But like regardless, it's just
I think to have an MC, like you must have a brain, because like you would think of rhyme schemes or just rhymes in general. Like
Yeah.
let's say Apple, for instance. Like you probably have a verse where you just go crazy with that kind of rhyme, and you would memorize that. And maybe once you go into a station and actually freestyle, then you stumble into the word like Apple or something like that. Your brain is triggered to going into that.
Yeah.
And then you might come out of that and do. It's like a cycle. That shit is.
Well, I think time slows down. Like the better, like people get freestyling. It's almost like they see multiple pathways of which they can go, and they choose the best route. You know.
Yeah. Black Thought is brilliant at that shit. His flex freestyle.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And apparently that was all off top. That wasn't written. Which I don't know if I believe that, because what the fuck? That's like ridiculous to me. That's always a tool that I've never sharpened. Like I've never really been a great freestyler, and I've always wanted to be better in it, but I just never put in like the time and effort. Do you like do that? Do you freestyle much now?
Definitely not anymore. At the time, I felt like I had to. I felt like it was something I had to work on. But I think as time passed on, I really thought about it. I was like, how many great freestylers are good at making songs?
That's true.
And it's not many. It's like Jay-Z,
Big at the time.
Biggie, and Eminem, which, as much as I love
Lil
him,
Wayne.
it's very debatable on whether or not he can make good songs anymore.
Nowadays?
Yeah.
No comment.
What?
No comment.
Yeah. Don't come for me, Em. Not that you're listening to this, but I love you. And
SXRGCAST, get a bullet in the ass. Like, you just come on the next record. You're like, yo, what the fuck?
Yo,
How did
I
he
mean,
know?
I'll take it. Please, free
bro.
pub. Like, yeah, please. But getting back to it, like I think like the I think the competitive aspects is like what drew me to hip hop. And I think as I got more into songwriting and production, you meet a lot less competitive minded people. You like in terms of collaborators, in terms of just like in the community.
100%.
And I think
Like in today's climate, for sure.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not sure.
yeah, maybe back then it was also like Pete Rock and Premier might have been like, you know, it's all healthy competition at the end of the day of like okay, or even like Timbo, Pharrell. You know, I think they're competing with each other. Swiss, I think they're competing with each other at the time.
Friendly,
Yeah,
competitive.
exactly.
But rappers are different. They want to take your head off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a different vibe with them.
And I you know, I started as a rapper, became an audio engineer and you know, producer and DJ and like.
So this was high school for you, just to clarify.
No, this is way later. This is after college.
Oh, okay. So that's when you
I started writing when I was like 20.
What was the catalyst for that?
Drunk freestyling at parties in college was like my first. Well, all right. My first bars were written when I was in like 7th grade or something like that. I think it was like 7th grade, 8th grade. Because I had this English class and a teacher, Mr. G, who would let us write like as a creative exercise. He would let us write raps and then perform them in front of the class.
That's sick.
And they'd usually be battle raps and we'd be dissing each other.
Well, wait, this is like a creative writing class, you said?
Yeah.
That's so fucking
Yeah.
fire.
The older I get, the more I realize how special that was. So
That's different.
Shout out to Mr. G, man. And that was this was a private school. St. Anthony's. It doesn't exist anymore, but St. Anthony's in South Ozone Park, like that's where I went to. It was like a kindergarten through 8th grade situation. So they like combined elementary and junior high. So yes, my first rhymes were written then, really, and I really enjoyed like performing in front of the class and stuff. But once I got into high school, like freshman year of high school, I go to this like all boys school in Long Island. There's like 6 black kids in the whole school. I'm like definitely out of my element. Coming from Queens, where like, I mean, growing up, I was like the only in my immediate class. I was like the only kid who was like half white or like had some white in them. Everyone was like West Indian or Hispanic or Black American or just like everything. But so like in school, I was the white boy, like growing up, right?
Interesting.
Even though my dad would like pick me up from school, my dad's dark as shit. But we would go to so that I went to Chaminade High School in Long Island freshman year. Just so way different environment. No one there is like rapping. There's like 6 black kids in the whole school. They're there on sports scholarships, of course. And I failed out of that school. Went to public school for the first time after that, and then that's where I finished out high school. So from sophomore, I went to summer school to like get my grades up to get to be able to go to Bryant. So I went to summer school at John Adams, which was my zone school, and in Jamaica, and then went to Bryant High School, and then did sophomore to senior year there. And even there, like even at Bryant in school, like people weren't really ciphering like that. That shit was definitely happening a lot more at like where I was at, where I grew up. Then, because I would have to travel to Bryant. Bryant was in like Long Island City next to Woodside Projects. I'm sure people were freestyling the projects, but I wasn't. Number one, I had to come home straight from school every day. My dad was super strict, and I wasn't allowed to just chill in the projects. An hour and change away from where I live, like that wasn't happening. Most of my socializing was on sports, but yeah, no one. I mean, people on the team weren't really like rapping like that, which is crazy.
Same here.
I believe that more for baseball, but for football, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot. I mean, I'm sure y'all probably all like loved hip hop and shit.
That was the only thing that was played.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, but I feel like.
Yeah, football and basketball.
I feel like there's a correlation between like gang activity, drug activity, and like rapping, like in New York City growing up. So like I feel I'm like, yo, were some of my teammates like holding out on me, or like what's going on? Like, were they just not rapping at school or something? But like, cause I have friends, like there were friends on the team who definitely were like, taking part in like gang activity and shit. But yeah, the competitive, just coming back to it, when we, like, as we start like getting to know more producers and songwriters, it seems like it's felt like the competitive aspects of music weren't like they shy away from it, and I think people kind of just like aren't really into that. But I think over the past few years, I've embraced it more, and I think I've been better for it. It's just all about how you go about it. It's not about like feeling like you're above anyone, but I think it's okay to feel like, if you really feel like, yo, I'm gonna no matter what you do before I go on, like I'm gonna tear the stage up, and there's going to be a noticeable difference. That's my goal, for there to be a noticeable difference. Like when whoever comes on before or after me, like the person who comes on after me, my goal is to make their job a a little harder. Like if you really want to like stand out, like you gotta pull up and you gotta show out. And I'm rooting for you.
Yeah,
you know,
right. Exactly.
That's the most important thing. It's like it's not like I'm not here like, oh, I'm just the best. If I'm at a show and I'm not the best one, like that's a good thing. That means I'm in a good
company.
Yeah.
Be around.
Yeah. With them. And it's opportunity to like grow and improve and learn.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if there's a noticeable difference, then like I just look at it like you're at a different stage of your development, and that's okay. And whether or not you choose to put in the work to take things as seriously as I do or not, like that's totally fine. This is art at the end of the day. It's subjective, and whatever your relationship is to it, like it can be your relationship. You don't have to be competitive to be good at it. But that's definitely something that drives me, that I embrace, and now. But it was hard for me for a while.
I think the whole point of this is to be the best, or to showcase the best version of self. Right? Whether you have a competitive mindset or not, right? Like I want to go up there and shut it the fuck down, right?
You usually get a little closer to the mic.
So yeah, that's the mindset going into like whenever I hit the stage, I'm gonna fuck this shit up. I like you said, I'm gonna stand out. When I don't really have I don't like comparing myself to other artists, like. That's just something that I don't do. So just the concept of like competition for me is not so present in that way. Like I feel like I'm really competing with me and who I am. Like how can I challenge myself to be the best version so that when I go up there it's fucking over, right? Like I don't like the competitive aspect in that, unless there's like a battle, which I've never really been in that situation to really know what that's like.
But what if you're at a show and someone absolutely kills it? Does that inspire you to yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I remember this one show where like Shorty before me had an amazing fucking voice. Like she was killer, like clearly the best one that night.
Yeah.
And I had to close that show, and she looked great too. Everything about her was just like dope. And my cousin Freddie comes up, he's like, "You better." You going after this?
Oh, Freddie.
Yeah, you know he is. Yo, shout out Freddie. Freddie was just like, yo, you better get your shit up. Like, this is not the show.
Freddie's definitely the one to do that. Like,
yeah.
He's not going
no. There's
sugarcoat it. Like, he's gonna be the one to put the pressure on.
You getting your ass beat, basically. He comes from a sport mindset. That's why he's just like, you have to like bring it home essentially.
Yeah.
So I was just prior to that just going up there and like having a good time, but now I'm in this like competitive mind. So I guess I do have that in some ways. Like, yeah, I tapped into some other shit that night, and like I have to now do more than what I did before. So I guess I do have some of that for sure.
Yeah, I think comparison can be really healthy. It's just about our relationship with it.
But we also want to put on a great show. You know, I think that's really the most important thing. Like Shorty just fucking murked it. Now I'm gonna fucking murk it too, and just for everyone to feel the vibe, feel the love, man. This is art, you know. Like
I think I think Method Man was talking about like I forget the exact story. No. I mean, I'm jumbling two stories. There's one that like. I think they had to open for DMX, but there's one where like DMX had to open for Jay-Z. Jay-Z had to follow DMX, and like DMX like does like a prayer, and like
people are crying.
Yeah, the whole fucking
people are turning up.
Yeah,
it's like
everybody's crying.
Spectrum of human emotion embodied in that set. And Hope was like, "Oh my god, how am I supposed to compete with this?"
Yeah, and nowadays I feel like
and Meth too.
I feel like
in that show.
I feel like nowadays a lot of producers or artists would take the route of like the safer route of just like, well, I'm just gonna go out there and like I'm just gonna do what I do and like, you know.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of seeing that and be like, all right, well, I got my hands full, and being inspired to like level up what you do that night, because that's gonna level up what you do going forward too. Like, it's like you've gained. This is a gamification. Like, you've gained 500 experience points. You know, you were gonna evolve in like 2 levels.
It's like a Black Mirror episode and shit.
I wasn't thinking Pokemon, but
Okay. There we go. That works too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the competitive aspects of just sports just continues to pay dividends over time.
Yeah.
And I'm always just so grateful for my experiences in it. I think it gives me an advantage. And again, like, if for other people who haven't had that, it shows. To be honest, I think it shows. But you don't need it to be good at music. You really just need a love and dedication to craft and the willingness to like continue to improve however you want to improve, and you don't need sports for that. You just need love.
This is kind of random, but like, do you find like there's some moments in time where like you, like currently now, learn new things about your body that you wish you had known when you were younger?
Like what?
Generally, like I don't know, like working out. I don't know, just certain things that you'd pick up on now that you're like, damn. Like I definitely
Breathing.
experienced that. Exactly, shit like that. Like different tools that you wish you had at 15. Like if I knew what I knew about myself and things that in my body that weren't, you know, like I could have improved on early on, I would have been a fucking monster, like an absolute monster, if I just had the knowledge of like knowing how to use this properly, you know? Like I don't think I really had that training, and that kind of, you know, and it could boil back to just like the resources and where you live at. I think people who have more money, regardless of race, are in better. They have the upper hand in that as well, because they're better exposed to like better training facilities and trainers and all that good stuff at a very young age, and they're a bit more advanced in that in some ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they have the resources. And that, again, applies to the whole music thing that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't have that piano in my house. I had to buy it. I had to buy a bum-ass little keyboard when I was in college. You know? That I had for like 10 years, you know?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, our stories are what make us unique. And
yeah, it's fine.
I talk about this all the time, how like working with less makes you stronger in the long run.
Exactly.
So, yeah, over time, I've just grown. I just like practice appreciation for those things. Like, all right, like it is what it is. It would have been nice to have the ability to play keys better at an earlier age, but my music would probably sound different.
Exactly.
And
I was just thinking that right now.
I enjoy the way my music is currently sounding, and I know I have a lot more room to improve, because you learn other things to make up for lack, especially in this like digital era.
And I think our understanding of culture, not for nothing, takes precedent here.
Yeah.
And like you said, it wouldn't be that wouldn't have been the case if we were studying classical pieces at 4 years old, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Like I have no desire to make, and this isn't a slight at all, but it's just like personal choice. Like Jacob Collier is a genius, but I like my music, I wouldn't want it to sound like his music. It's just his music sounds like him, and my music will sound like me and representative of my experiences, and yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
You know? What kind of just popped into my mind? Did you hear any of this James Blake Lil Yachty project?
No.
Oh, did you not even know?
I didn't even know that's a thing. What the hell? Well, maybe you told me last time we saw each other. That's so weird.
It just came out like I think last 2 Fridays ago.
You listen to it?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
You got a fire? That's so random.
Do you want to hear something off of it?
Yeah, play me some. Yachty in his artsy fartsy bag. I like that. Very nice. Piano sound is fucking amazing on that. The keys.
James Blake is just a master of so many things, and sound selection is one of them.
Some people that just get me tight, man. Like, why are you that good? You know what I mean? Would you ever listen to a song and be like, yo, fuck you, dude? Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Too many artists are like that. Shit. Who are your, like, I mean, some people hate lists, but, like, if you had to pick 5 artists that influenced you the most, who would that be?
I need to think about that. As I take bits and pieces, and just because I talk, it's because I say like influence doesn't mean I'm like necessarily informed on their entire catalog or anything. All right, Pink Floyd.
As an influence.
Yeah,
Interesting.
for sure. I think I would have to say James Blake. Tori Moi, Pharrell.
It's a crazy list. That's a dangerous list. Imagine all of them on a project.
Kanye.
From a production standpoint or just songs?
I mean, both. I mean, I'm definitely more speaking to like production because that's the bag I've just been in for the past few years. But I think it's just like a musical bag, like just music in general. I think those 5 have probably taught me the most. Like, yeah. Like I don't know where the MCing and stuff like falls in. I don't know, like even singing wise, like my favorite singers I didn't include, but like I think diving into production has helped me just develop my vision for like music for like to make a record and to like experiment with genres and styles and stuff. And music at the end of the day is about communication. And I think that starts from the ground up, like with the production. So I think more forward. I think I'm more forward, like production forward, and then like lyrics follow. Or if I come up with lyrics first, it's about like how do I get the production to like execute this vision.
Would you include the melody in the production area?
I mean, melody would have to support whatever's going on vocally, lyrically. I mean, and there can be melodies involved.
In the final draft, yeah, but initially you could mumble some melody.
Yeah, and that'd be a starting melody, but then it's like what chords do, like, and then what sound for those chords, what's the style, or what's the, is it a dancehall song, is it a house song, is it trap that I'm hearing that like best serves this vision. So I think of, man, yo, I mean, yeah, I probably got to go with those 5. There's others like Rick James is an aspiration. I think like in terms of like people who are like the producers, who are more composers like Rick James and Quincy, but if I really have to say like who really influenced me and like made the most impact, I would say it's those 5.
It's a nice list.
Thank you.
Rick, that's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Bad motherfucker.
He don't get the credit. Musicians know, but the general public doesn't know. They just think he's fucking.
Dude, his bass lines are his singing too. I think is slept on, man.
They just think he's like super freak, like
right.
Yeah.
No, man.
Yeah.
He was, and also Dave, obviously. You know, I'm Rick James, bitch, all that.
Yeah. That
stuff,
too. Yeah.
But yeah, he's fucking different, dude. Street songs is incredible.
Like they don't know about like him doing all the music for Mary Jane Girls and like all night long. Like they still play that song out.
That was him?
Yeah. The Mary Jane Girls were his group. He produced them and
of course
probably wrote.
It's in the name. Dilson. It's in the name.
Mary Jane. Like you had that song Mary Jane too?
Yeah.
And then what's her name? Tierra Marie or she's also a popular like 80s artist
that he produced.
Yeah.
Who's the one that is she the one that
Tina Marie, yeah.
That sings what's that song called?
What?
Heaven and no, something in Fire. Fire and
Desire.
Is that her?
I think that's her.
I was gonna say Heaven and Fire. That's crazy.
Yeah, she's on Fire and Desire.
Yeah.
On that what was that album with Ghetto Life on it?
Man, I think it's Street Songs.
Yeah, Street Songs. Yeah. That's the name of it. Yeah. I don't know what Tina Marie's like most famous song would be. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, who did I say again? Pink Floyd,
James Blake,
Tori
Moore,
Pharrell, Kanye. Oh man. Who would I take off, bro? There's one that has to go.
Who has to go in?
Miles.
Whoa.
Just for space. Miles taught me about space in music.
6 is fine. Why you gotta? So what? 5. I hate that shit. Yo, top 10. No, I'm gonna give you 13. Fuck you talk about? And they're not in order. So Miles though, why? That's
space.
Interesting.
He taught me about space. I always get the song with the album mixed up. Kind of Blue is the album. Blue and Green.
Blue and Green.
Yeah. Just like the sustained notes and just like, you know, when tone is beautiful and has like all the emotion in the world that you need, like, and everyone's just supporting that.
And you got Coltrane on there too, man.
Late Did he? 50s. It was Bill Evans on keys.
Coltrane played sax in that album.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bill Evans. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
No wonder that's a classic.
Yeah. And the keys in that song too are just so good. That's a song I want to learn, but I don't know where to start. Can you help me with that? Just in general, like where would I start on like trying to, like, do I really have to do everything by ear? Because I've tried and I'm not good.
If it's something you can't comprehend, you could just go to YouTube. There's probably thousands of videos on YouTube.
Not good ones.
Can you read music?
Very slowly. I can't like sight read.
Yeah, no, I'm not. But you could read notes and know, because that's your
very
go-to,
slowly.
man.
But that feels like mad work.
It does, but it's better. Trust me. Like when it comes to those kind of pieces, like jazz pieces and just like real music pieces, like that is the way to go for sure.
I'll give myself that homework assignment for the rest of 2024 to read the notes to Blue and Green and be able to play it on piano.
Yeah. If not, just go to YouTube or just like use both. You know.
Because it's gonna take me that long to do that.
Slow, you gotta slow it down, man. That's something actually I wish I would have taught myself when I was younger. Like, take your time, dude. Like, you don't have to. You know, you're not gonna shred like fucking Eddie Van Halen when you're starting out. You know.
Yeah.
Even now, like if you're learning something, do it like 20 BPM slower, maybe even more.
Oh, I thought we were talking about sex.
All right, so that's the bug. I mean that too. You gotta. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
We were taught to go a little too crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if we were taught.
Not taught, but like
Your dad just there
conditioned.
like,
yo, you gotta go fast. Okay. You have to
bang, 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 bang.
sound like
like Pops.
Pops,
Yo,
right?
I've been watching
Bang, bang, bang.
I've been rewatching Wayne's Brothers, man.
Nice,
So
very
good.
nice.
The first season isn't that good. And I was really questioning like, is it one of those that like over time, but no, it's really once. D is the most important character in that show. Bro.
whoa, that's a blazing hot take. How come?
Watch it before D pulls up.
And
D's
what?
not in it from the beginning. There's a security guard before her.
Oh, that's crazy.
And
Wait, she comes in later?
the first season has no security guard.
Okay.
The second season is when they get the newsstand next to the diner.
Yeah.
The first season is all just in the diner, in Pops' diner.
Wow.
The second season they move to the Niedermeyer building and it's Pops' diner next to the newsstand because Sean buys the newsstand. And there's a security guard. If you saw her,
So she's not in the first season at all.
no, and I forget I think I'm on the third. She shows up like 6 or 7 episodes maybe into the second season.
Wow.
I already forgot the security guard's name.
It's been so long.
Lou Molino. Yeah.
Let me see this.
That was the character's name, was Lou Molino, played by Jill Tasker. I'm going to show you a picture.
I just watched the episode of New. Whoa, I thought it was a dude. Nah, I don't remember at all.
Damn,
I do
you
not.
fucking just diss Jill. I'm sorry, Jill Tasker.
My fault, sis.
You know, I know you're tuning in. My number one fan.
Just expanding that beef list. You got M, now you got Jill.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's not ringing a bell. That's
I
what
remember when I saw her, I remembered her because I've been a fan of Wayne's Brothers, like super fan, but I didn't realize it never clicked that like D wasn't in it from the beginning. And before
so
D
wild.
comes on, like D really was the glue. Like it really started getting great. With TC also started like just before D. You know TC?
I don't remember
The dude with the gold tooth,
face.
like perm. Always wears a suit. Oh, come on now, killing me,
remember.
Petey.
Oh yeah.
You got to remember TC.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So TC comes in right before D, and then D comes in, and then like it starts to really go upward, and it's just like a great show from there on. But it was a little shaky first season. I mean, John Witherspoon is just fucking great. And so I mean, Marlon and Sean, I dare you to find two characters on television who have had the kind of chemistry that those two have.
I mean, twins, twinsies.
Are they twins? They're not twins.
They're not. Oh no, one is old.
I think Sean's like a year older.
Yeah. Sean's a year older. I mean, still.
Yeah.
Like basically twins.
Yeah.
What is her presence like? I immediately just went into like the importance of having like a matriarch around. You know what I mean? Like,
she's not a matriarch.
In that show, she was like a mom to them, dog. Really?
Mm-mm.
My memory tells me she was just like from both ends of just like nurturing, but also like I will slap you right upside your head on both sides.
Yeah, but not a mom.
Word.
Not a mom. They make fun of her too much. And she like pinches Sean's ass all the time.
Okay. Maybe not matriarch.
Yeah. So not.
Maybe stepmom. No. Yeah, never mind.
Yo, what kind of stuff you be watching, bro?
We could edit that out. Headline: Dilson loves certified lover boys.
We know what Dilson's search history looks like now.
Family Matters.
Yeah, what about you in terms of influences?
I thought you were gonna say something in terms of influences.
Beatles.
I definitely throw them in there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm gonna say Beatles, Pac. That's already weird as shit. Pharrell. Lauren.
Wow.
Even though her career is so short, but what she did, 100%. Her and Wyclef with the,
Did we?
heavy.
Did we ever talk about? I don't know if I sent this to you, but I should have. Do you know about the correlation between Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With and
Maria
Santana? Yeah. Okay.
That's fucking. He blew nobody else knew that.
Yeah.
Like, why did he hold on to that for like 20, 25 plus years?
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I blew my mind. I felt like a failure.
Yeah. I saw that on Instagram and I immediately picked up my acoustic and was like, ding, ding, ding. Oh, there it is. And it's in A minor, I think. I think it's in the same key. Fucking wild. That's bugged.
Yeah.
It's the same riff as Wild Wild Thoughts.
Mm-hmm. And it's all because of Wu-Tang. So who's your fifth?
I feel like
you said Beatles, Pac, Lauryn Hill, Pharrell.
It would. I'm gonna say 6 too. Stevie. I want to say Prince, but I don't know his catalog as much as I want to. But like, I guess this to your same point of James Brown being this aspirational thing. That level of musicianship, which is why I have Stevie in there instead of Prince, is what I aspire to be and am, but want to be better. I would add maybe Hendrix. Actually, yeah, Hendrix. He's the reason why I'm doing this. He's the reason.
Also, a great list.
Yeah, I fuck with that. That list might be different tomorrow, but that's my 6 right now.
Yeah.
That's my starting 5 with the 6 man coming off the bench.
I kind of wanna get into Pink Floyd, Sheep. You still haven't heard it, right?
The fucking 9-minute song?
Yeah, did you hear it?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
That's all right.
Nah,
That shit trash. Nigga. I'm trying to be nice, but that shit was ass.
I know you don't feel that way.
No, it's not. I mean,
it was all right.
It was cool.
That song is a masterpiece. What are you talking about, bro? That song is a movie.
It was cool. I'm just doing piss you off, but I'm just saying it to piss you off that way. But
What?
it was all right.
You said you just saying it to piss me off?
It was mid.
It was no.
Not on my podcast.
No, you're not serious.
No, it was good. No, it was good. It's not life changing. Twist and shout. That's life changing right there. That's my record.
Comparatively
Do a little twist.
to Sheep, those two don't belong in the same sentence.
Apples and oranges.
Well, like, what came up for you when you heard it? I just like for it to start with this piano solo, again, space.
I think it's
Right.
great artistry.
What?
Fantastic artistry. I mean, but it's Pink Floyd. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
like
that's just a given.
like it goes so many places, and I think that's what I love about it. Like a song that can do that. That can. It starts out that like feeling like if I could put a scene to the first part, it's like I'm in the woods, just kind of like, by myself and not necessarily, I don't really know where I am. Things are okay, but I'm just like kind of walking in the forest trying to find my way, and I know that there's like potential danger afoot. Like that's just like that's another thing I would love to learn is the intro to Sheep on keys, because it's so bluesy too, and just like the tone, recording wise, bro, like the engineering on Pink Floyd's albums is just like amazing. But then it takes you into this whole other like the pace like just like really picks up. And then it does this like alternating thing where like it dies down and again, and then but they're using like synthesizers and strings to like again continue to like evolve the like this masterpiece. I think it's a masterpiece of a song.
You think that's the most masterful Pink Floyd song?
It's either that or Shine On You Crazy Diamond for me.
Is Sheep on the Wall album?
Animals.
What year did that come out?
I don't know the year.
Like late 70s or 80s?
I have no idea. But I have the album now. Like on vinyl.
Oh, fire.
And Piper.
I just got Zeppelin's first album, vinyl. Masterpiece, bro.
I don't like Zeppelin. Zeppelin's kind of mid, bro.
See, now you're fucking with me.
No.
You think Zeppelin is mid? What the fuck are you talking? All four members are brilliant. That's a perfect band.
People have tried to put me on a Zeppelin before. I'm like, this is not. I'm down to listen to a Zeppelin song. Put me on.
Dazed and Confused is a top 10 song of mine.
I mean, I like Kashmir.
That's a cool song. I never listened to it, but it's a cool song.
And I think that's where it ends for me.
I think they have way better records.
77 is when Animals came out. Dazed and Confused.
Whoa, yeah. Dazed and Confused is great. I didn't realize how. I thought that was like an '80s record.
No,
Animals like early '80s.
Are you more impressed now?
No,
Does that affect?
but it's
music is music at the end of the day.
still the time.
Yeah.
when it's released is kind of important.
Yeah.
There's some songs I'm just like surprised.
Especially stuff that include synthesizers.
Yeah, but that's why the 70s was peak.
They just like they paint movies, bro. And I think that's what all of the people in my list have in common. Is like they create experiences. It's like sonic paintings or sonic movies. Is how I can say that for Pink Floyd, James Blake, Pharrell, Kanye, Toro, Miles. And that's what I aim for, what I want to aim for over time, because that is just like a symbol of mastery.
I like when artists are like really versatile. Like my favorite artists like every one of their albums sounds like a completely different artist, band, whatever, you know, like that's what, and I would probably throw in Kanye in that too. Like every album, with maybe the exception of his first 2/3, sounds like a completely different, just like, who is this man, right? Like that. So versatility for me is like huge in my like in what I want to build. Like I love taking, that's my shit. Like I love taking this bluesy record and combining it with like, I could see that working with this house beat, or like this house beat working with like this country song. You know what I mean? Like there's just a lot of room to like take from this and that and combine that, like, which is what the best artists have done. You know?
One more name I would have to add from now going into the future is Steve Lacy.
You would add him in your whatever list.
Yeah.
In your influence list.
Absolutely.
Wow. Doesn't he just have one album?
Yeah. No. He has more albums, but he has like Gemini Rights is definitely his like best work. But he has other albums before that where you could tell he's figuring it out and just like being free with what he's putting on it. But he really refined what he was doing on Gemini Rights. Did you listen to that at all?
That album, no.
Any songs?
Just
I played
the
Give You
songs
the World.
Yeah, just the songs that I've and like the.
And I definitely have played you Mercury. Probably
forgot that one.
Gemini. It's got like a cowbell.
Okay.
No?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Probably a while back. Yeah.
That's the song that made me fall in love with Steve Lacy, like out the gate. Or this is one of those like that came on, it's like, who or what the fuck is this? Like it's one of those. But I want to listen to Dazed and Confused first, and I'll play Mercury after.
It's a long song though.
All right. Well, I mean, we don't necessarily have to listen to all of it. We can,
story though.
but
Musically, they're painting a picture, man. It's like a movie.
oh, okay, Nirvana. Isn't that the first two notes to "Smells Like Teen Spirit"?
Maybe.
We'll go back.
Yeah. Yo, Jimmy Page, bro.
Been dazed and confused for so long, it's not true. Wanted a woman, never bargained for you. Lots of people talking, few of them know. Soul of a woman was created below.
I've heard this before. Wait. I don't want to. We're cheating a little bit. We're listening to the remaster. If I can find the OG, I want to find the OG. Because my biggest fucking shit with them is their engineering.
Because, I mean, this shit mixed beautifully. Maybe I've listened to the remastered album because I remember listening to it and being like, yeah, this shit is clean. For 69, that's really fucking great.
But that's remastered. That's
Yeah.
1990 remaster.
Yeah, I wonder how that's different then, because there were a lot of interesting choices being made on that album.
I'm only seeing the remaster. Okay, fine. We'll just continue.
You hurt and abused, telling all of your lies. Run, sweet baby, Lord, how they hypnotize. Sweet little baby, I don't know where you've been. Gonna love you, baby. Here I come again.
Oh, Bonham.
Every day I work so hard, bringing home my heart and pain. Try to love you, baby, but you push me away. You again.
I think that's Page with a violin bow on the 6 string.
I'm more loving the bass line because that's like a reggae bass line.
What?
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
I mean, England.
Interesting.
So violin bow, guitar, wah pedal.
I think that's a good place to.
1969, bruh.
It's really good. It's really good.
That's next level shit.
I'm a fan. Thank you for showing me. I've asked multiple people to show me like Zeppelin song that they love, and I've definitely have heard this one before. I just never really like I've heard it somewhere, maybe in a commercial or some shit. But like, yeah, that's the first time really listening to it.
Top 10 for me. Like I remember having a list of like top 10 songs of mine, and
I'm up to 6 songs so far of mine.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
But
They got sued heavy for that though.
For what?
The melody.
Why?
Jimmy Page wrote the song, I think, and the melody, and he took it from a song. It was clear as day.
Took it from what?
Clear as some singer-songwriter in the 60s, like in an acoustic version.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a clear ripoff.
Okay.
But this is like a million times better in every aspect, like musicianship, vocally, all of it is lyrically even. Some shit about a cat, like it was just wet. Shout out to him though.
There's a lot. You said something about a cat?
Yeah, that was the older version.
Cat Stevens?
No. Like the song had a cat in it.
Okay.
Like, she's like a cat. I don't know, some shit that wasn't.
But there's a lot that comes out for me. I think instrumentally, like what the musicians are doing, it's phenomenal. That reggae part was interesting because it was like, it's definitely like a reggae bass line.
I never thought of that before. It's so cool.
But it's a 6/8 time signature at that point.
Was it?
At that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I hate how the drums sound from engineering standpoint.
Why?
Just sounds like one room mic. Like the kick's not kicking, the snare's not hitting.
The toms though, the toms are there.
Yeah. Okay. The least the thing that happens least in the song is the thing that's there. Toms typically are there for like just fills.
The fills kind of stand out. Like the more standout parts of the drums are the toms in this song.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
Toms.
Yeah. Which only happens in certain moments, but throughout the song.
But it's key.
You want your kick and snare too.
No, that's true.
Yeah. It just sounds like very far away. And I think the last thing that was coming up for me is like I hear a lot of influence from Jimmy Page, like what he's doing vocally and with the guitars, and what the White Stripes do, like Jack White.
Yeah. Jack White loves that.
Yeah.
Even some vocal effects that the White Stripes did. That was pure Zeppelin. Well, that's what made them, like, in terms of musicianship, that's what made them great, which is why I said, like, when I throw around the term perfect band, I mean every member, their talent level was top notch, like top tier. Like, to me, the Beatles aren't a perfect band because Ringo, I don't think, is that great of a drummer. George is a pretty decent guitarist, but he's not like Hendrix. He's not Page. These four motherfuckers were just amazing.
I could say that about Queen.
That they're not? Or they
No,
are?
that they are.
No? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I have played Mercury for you before.
I'm sure you have.
So there's like no point to play it. Like I should play it and you
I'm
just
gonna
be
play
like,
it because I feel
just
like
be like, oh yeah, and then
I don't think I'd be like, oh yeah, if I'm being real.
like musically, I think he's gonna take us into the next like generation of great music. Yeah.
That guitar riff with the voices, whatever style that is, I like a lot, and I want to tap more into that. I feel like it's very reminiscent of the intro in Childish Gambino's.
Yeah. I was gonna say
This is
the
America.
vocal too, because but yeah, I'm in love when you talking about that, right? Me and Your Mama.
I was just no. This Is America.
Oh,
The intro.
I thought you were talking about the intro to the album, to Awaken My Love.
That's a good one too, though.
Yeah.
For the main melody, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I was just talking about the background voices with that lead guitar that are arpeggiated vibe, and it's also had that has the, like you said, groove. I don't know if it's Caribbean groove, but it's definitely a groove. It's a nice fucking groove. The guitar is gonna go crazy.
We just want to party. Party just for you.
And the guitar's going, you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound American, like U.S. American. Maybe I could be wrong, because it could be country. Could be like, yeah, it could be like a fast country.
It sounds more Caribbean to me.
Yeah.
More island.
Exactly. The Americas, the other Americas.
Yeah.
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 That was dope. That was really, really dope. Fuck.
Thank you.
You got me tight again.
For what?
Don't you? I'm telling you, don't you just listen to shit sometimes and be like, "Yo, I wish."
Yeah. No, Steve Lacy all the time.
Good shit.
I mean, his writing too is so unique. It's poetry, and yeah, like music's in a great place.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's never been a better time to be a fan. What do you think was? I don't know how to ask what I'm about to ask. Last time we had a conversation, you mentioned music in the 70s being like the best era of, like, I guess, like recorded music or something. Could you elaborate on that, or like how do you figure in?
Well, like I said earlier, I think diversity for me is so important. Just like being a versatile artist. And I think that decade was filled with people just doing weird shit. Like, there's so many different styles of music that existed in that era, right? We're talking disco. And not only so many different styles of music, but so many influential, important styles of music that laid the bricks to this, like, house that we have now. From disco to funk to hip hop was just starting out, punk was just starting out, right? And the social, political, like, factors that led to those movements as well was pretty interesting, in those cultures, and how those styles of music were used socially and politically during that time was just, like, very important. Versus the antithesis of that, which was disco, like this fun music, which is needed too. We need to fucking have fun and do cocaine and shit. You know what I mean? Like, disco was that. Classic rock was just...
I don't know if we need to do cocaine, but...
I was just fucking right. You know what I mean? You could do whatever you like to do.
Have fun, yeah.
Yeah, drink some water.
Yeah,
I mean, classic rock was really at its peak, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Heavy metal was just starting out. You had bands like Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden later on in the late 70s, Deep Purple. Like, all these different bands were just pushing the rock genre, like, forward. So that was great as well. The blues artists were still out there, even though they weren't making as much money. What else? Electronic music, like, that was starting to kick off more or less. Like, again, a lot of babies were, like, being born. They weren't fully developed yet, but there was a lot of babies being born that eventually led to, like, these massive genres that nowadays are, like, generating so much income. So the 70s was just the time. I wish that I was around, you know, to just experience the art, the culture. Even the movies that came out during that time were great too. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of, like, like all the genres of music that were happening at the time. It was... I mean, you mentioned disco. It was like the birth of hip hop, birth of house. Where was reggae at the time?
Reggae was another one. I mean, Bob was going.
Bob started
60s.
60s, right? Yeah. And but that was wasn't he in a different band, or like they went under a different name when he did that Simmer Down?
The Wailers.
Was it the Wailers? The Simmer Down.
Well, actually, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that the Wailers were the Wailers, and then eventually it was Bob Marley, and then Wailers, and then it was just Bob Marley. But I'm not sure if he was in a group earlier. That's bad. We saw the film. Like we should know. I think it just was the Wailers.
Well, I don't think they like covered that part so heavily. You know.
Yeah.
Yep, Bob Marley and the Wailers. Yep. So
Yeah, the 70s is when he took off. I think reggae in general.
you got Bob Marley, you got Marvin Gaye, you got Stevie, Pink Floyd,
James Brown.
the Beatles, James Brown.
No, the Beatles were in the 70s.
No? Not at all?
1970s when they broke up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, from 61 to 70.
Oh, so. You got
But they had their solo albums, though,
Okay.
which were pretty big.
Okay. Billy Joel?
Queen, Billy Joel,
Queen, definitely.
Elton,
Yikes.
Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Dude, it's too much.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
the
like-
Clash, Sex Pistols.
I wish I could see everyone lined up in terms of like the eras they were primarily operating in, like on a cover similar to like Double XL freshman like style. I wish I could see them like,
yeah,
you know,
for like genres across all.
yeah, just like what it would look like for every decade.
Oh, you saying a Double XL cover to summarize the entire decade?
No, I mean I'm just using Double XL as a reference, like as a visual reference of like you like how they're all like in one space, like next to each other.
Every year would have been dope.
What do you mean?
Like what 71 looked like.
Oh.
Who took over 72, 73? Like that would have been cool.
I guess you would go by charts or something like that. But I'm just saying, like, I would love to compare decades in that way.
The 80s was different too, though.
Because 2000s, then you got like Pharrell, Kanye, Swiss, Timbo, like like that's like the next generation, and it's way different. It's apples and oranges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And pop was really popping. A lot of great pop acts.
It's like who makes better music between like Stevie
Electronic
and
music
and
too.
Kanye. It's like apples and oranges. It's like
Stevie and Kanye.
like how do you compare
You
the two?
can't.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
The easy choice would be like, oh, Stevie, obviously. But
Yeah.
like, you can't.
Or like
difference-
Warhol to Picasso would be like Picasso, obviously, but it's not. It's just two different styles.
100%.
Stevie can't do what Kanye does. Kanye can't do what Stevie does. Period. Herbie Hancock could do what everyone does.
I was about to say,
Low
can
key.
Stevie do what Kanye do?
No. He can't sample like Kanye.
I guess.
Can he sample? Period.
I feel like Stevie's such a genius, bro.
But
You figure it out. Swear to God. I saw this man live, bro. I'm like, yo, this man's God, bro. Word of my mother. He did everything.
you saw him live?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
MSG. Me and Robin saw him
Wow.
2015. It was Songs in the Key of Life tour. This dude was playing Fetty Wap's My Way on the harmonica, my nigga. He won. Like, that's it. Like, that's top tier. Come on, man.
You can't call it top tier. I mean,
But it was just cool to see.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he was
yeah,
that
yeah.
plugged into what's happening culturally
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the moment and just, like, use his harmonica to do it. Dope. He had this instrument. I don't know what it was. It looked like a guitar. It had strings. It was, like, lying flat.
oh, steel pedal guitar,
Is that what it... people use...
pedal steel guitar. I mean,
He was using it like a piano. He wasn't using picks like a I don't know what that's called. But
Yeah,
like the sliding shit people do. No, it was like literally he was playing like this, and it sounded like what's the intro to what's that song? I think King Duke. Like
a
it had
clavinet.
Yeah, it had that kind of vibe, and he was playing it like this. It was horizontal. I think it was on his lap or on a table or some shit, and he was doing that, bending notes and shit. I'm like, what is that? Like, that's different.
Yeah.
And just considering that he played bass in a lot of those songs, played drums in a lot of the songs that he recorded, that dude could do it. Stevie could sample. And he could see.
You know, according to Shaq, right?
According to a lot of people. I seen him catch a mic stand before, bro. That shit is different. As it was falling, he said, whoop. Either that or he's like Daredevil or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see you
Yeah,
developing.
senses are heightened. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
But I don't. I mean, Stevie, until you prove you can do it, you can't.
Yeah, he can't do it at Kanye's level.
But Herbie, low key.
You think Herbie like produces like that?
I mean, Herbie's sound design game is just like untouchable, bro. Yeah. And so like just his knowledge of not just musicianship but also electronics. Like he is the pioneer and the master of those worlds. Like I think he understands. I think Herbie understands frequency in a way maybe no man has ever understood. Like period. And I'm trying to get there too. And I think like slowly but surely I'm inching my way towards understanding like EQ is just like volume of frequency, for example. Saturation is just like boosting volume of multiple frequencies. And yeah, like everything is just like harmonics and you know what blows my mind still to this day that I can't like wrap my head around is like how a speaker plays back multiple frequencies at once.
What do you mean?
To produce a tone, the cone has to vibrate at a frequency. So let's say like a sine wave to play back like a doo. I'm like the fundamental frequency of that. I don't know what note I just hit.
That's 440.
Shut up. It'd be funny if it was though. If it was A, if that was the fundamental. I'm gonna find out later when I edit this down. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna text you. Be like, it's actually. But
HR post close.
but it's yeah, in order for that speaker cone to produce that like the pure sine wave tone, the singular frequency, it has to vibrate at a certain amount of times per second. But like or like, you know, let's say the fundamental frequency is like I don't know. That probably would be I mean, it would be lower if it's the fundamental. I feel like the fundamental is always in the 100 and below range. Let's say 80 hertz. It has to play back, or I guess it would be 40. It would be the lowest possible. So let's say it's like 40 hertz. It has to play back. It has to like move. The speaker cone has to move. It has to vibrate at 40 times a second in order to produce that tone. But once you start introducing timbre and harmonics and like multiple frequencies, like the idea that it plays back all these tones at the same time, it just blows my mind. I just still to this day, I can't wrap my head around that. I remember going on Reddit, which is, you know, the place we go to for these things in 2024. And they called it like a complex frequency. when you have like multiple frequencies like happening at once. But I don't understand physically how a cone produces all those tones at once. It has to vibrate in so many different ways at the same time. Like I don't get it. It blows my mind.
Maybe you got to bring like someone who makes speakers and bring them to the show, pick their brain.
Yeah.
Or anybody in that field.
That's true. I might have to do that. You know anybody?
I know a mechanical engineer, but not really. Yeah, he's not an audio specialist in any way.
Does that mean he fixes cars?
I mean, yeah, that could apply.
Yeah,
but no.
I mean they call it
not mechanical.
a mechanic.
Excuse me. Electrical.
Electrical engineer.
Yeah. Like, I mean, a lot of the same rules apply, but he doesn't build speakers.
When did you? So you went to SA? No, you went to IER.
Yeah.
You went to there after college?
Immediately after.
What made you decide to go that route? If you're like, oh, I want to write songs and be a writer and do like film and shit, like what made you go the audio engineering route?
Yeah, I don't know, if I'm being honest.
Would you do it again?
Like from right now, like knowing what I know, or if I were to go back.
If you were to go back in time.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I think being around people who knew and being face to face. I've done the fucking YouTube thing. I've done the in-person.
Responsible for my entire.
I mean, shout out to you. And same for me when it comes to playing.
Yeah.
I mean, until now. But for years, I've done the YouTube and it's great. Like it's helped me to where I was. But again, going to college, being around like professors who knew music theory, like that's a different, like you could go to their office and pick their brain, right? And it was the same thing. I actually learned, I bought a little keyboard like around 2012 and I wanted to learn piano from like this work study job that I had. And I realized that the cable was it had the same cable input as like my printer. So I'm like, oh, maybe I could put this in my computer. And that's around the same time, like when I started learning piano, it was also when I started to make beats. And I put quotations on that because my early shits were terrible. So from like 2012 till about 15, which is technically a long time, I was making beats, but I wasn't.
On what?
On FL Studio.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at that point. Yeah. I was Googling like, oh, what's a music software? And I came across FL.
Nice.
And I very foolishly would not look up tutorials. I would kind of just try to figure it out on my own for like 3 years. Can you imagine that? Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I don't know. I think going to an audio school.
So why would you do that to yourself?
I mean, I wasn't taking it that serious, if I'm being honest. I was kind of just like fucking around. Like I wasn't really trying to be a producer.
Beep, boop.
Yeah. But like that was actually like in rhythm, like the shit that I was making was not on the grid. Like, yeah, it was terrible. It was awful. But it was important, you know what I mean? But going to the school, I think, helped shape that side of my my understanding of audio, period. I had no reference point to it whatsoever. I just knew what I knew from a creative standpoint, but not from a technical standpoint. So my understanding of that, and also just wanted to be an engineer, maybe like that. Maybe that was a career path that I could have taken in the meantime while I worked on my art, and hopefully that took me where I needed to go. So that was a career path that I didn't really take. I didn't really work on it to be better, to be in that kind of situation where I would do live sound or be in a studio or in X, Y, and Z, which is fine.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was an idea. That was something that I could have done. But I don't know. The universe kind of, this is where I'm at now. I'm very grateful for it though, because I have a better understanding of production now. Way better than going into it, So, yeah. Because now I'm doing more than just going on stage and just playing a little 6-string and playing a song, like I'm bringing in sounds that I've worked on previously. I'm also like composing for like shows. Like I'm composing for off-Broadway. I've done like 3 different off-Broadway productions where I've listed as a composer, and all of that was pre-recorded stuff that I worked on FL and Pro Tools and all that stuff. I wouldn't have gotten that knowledge if it wasn't for that school. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm not, I'll definitely do that.
When's the last time you listened to your old beats?
Oof. Actually, it was a couple of days ago because my friend Lewis came over my crib and we were talking about something old. We went to a party like back in 2013 and I had this old drive. I dusted it off. I plugged it in my computer and I was looking at some of the old shit and I'm just like, oh my God, not good. I saw where I was going though. That's the thing. Like, oh shit, I see what I was trying to do. But nah, son. Not at all. It wasn't it. But it was fun.
How was that experience? It was fun?
Yeah, it's fun just to look back and be like, wow.
It's hard for me to go back.
I remember that.
It's hard for me to go back and listen to old shit, especially like raps, especially old raps. And sometimes I like what?
Me too.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh wow, yeah, no, this is pretty good, pretty decent, and I surprised myself. But yeah, no. Having a setup at the crib is both like, at the time, is a blessing and a curse. So you can just really record whatever the fuck is on your mind and not think about it. Man, I went through so many different phases.
Going back and seeing like the Slim Shady raps that I wrote when I was in high school, bro, I was angry. Like and M is that artist to a lot of people in their teens, or was that artist like, the angsty, like, fuck the world kind of vibe. I gravitated, I emulated that. It wasn't even like, oh, he inspired me. No, I emulated his cadences, or tried to at least, and like layered with, the misogyny was crazy. Like it was just all the wild shit I was saying, like rape and violence and all that. I was doing that because that's what he did, and it was funny and it was haha. So looking back at it now in hindsight and just reading it,
I definitely used to rap about guns for no reason.
Come on, son.
Did you?
Yeah, I had spoken words about guns in college. Shit was fire, but like, but it's cool. Like I think that's what art does. Like we're writing stories. Like whatever those stories may. Okay, I've never held a gun before, but Shakespeare never killed nobody that we know of before. But he wrote plays about murder and shit and incest and all this weird shit. Like art is that. One thing that I've always had this conversation with people, and I always feel like it's weird. Movies don't get the same like criticism as music does.
They shouldn't.
Why?
Because music is often presented more as like a documentary.
I think that's bullshit.
No. I'm saying
I think
like,
it's true, but I don't think it should be.
We're getting into the prison argument right now, but I know that like being able to use lyrics in jail.
Oh,
What? But like in court, I mean.
Yeah.
So I forgot what I was saying.
Documentary. Music.
I think it's a lot easier to, well, first of all, like they say things, they present on screen usually based on a true story.
Yeah.
And that's because it's usually understood that if you're watching a movie, it's fiction. Hip hop is a unique case. Like I think we can make that case for other genres, for R&B and disco and but
They're mostly love songs.
yeah, I think most songs are love songs. that can have elements of truth, but don't necessarily have to be an actual account of like real situations. But I think when people like Melly Mel came along, I think when NWA came along, I think Ice-T, I think it was understood that they're telling real fucking stories. That's when music started to become more like a window into real situations that were happening.
It's not their personal stories though, and just like these movies are telling a real story as well, even though they're fictional. There's metaphors in there, but it's not the actor's story. Ice Cube was not gangbanging, but he saw the shit and decided to speak on it. This is a story based off what I saw, which is what movies is.
Yeah.
You know, we see examples of that in all types of music. Johnny Cash was talking crazy shit, right? Like I was locked up for murdering my wife type shit. You know what I mean? It's a story based on real life.
Are there some hip hop stories that are actually firsthand accounts?
Yeah.
Absolutely, right?
You see that with drill. We're seeing that with drill.
Yes.
And
which is ironic because that's the genre we're trying to defend as to like don't want people to use these lyrics in court.
It's tough.
But
it's tough.
But I'm not talking about drill. I'm not coming for drill at all. I'm like
love drill.
But I think same. I mean, good drill. I like good music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like good lyrics and beats, period.
And there's a lot of cats out there doing amazing stuff in drill.
I want to hear it. I mean, Pop Smoke was the one to me. I haven't heard anything as good as Pop Smoke since Pop Smoke, personally, in the drill genre.
From the music generally? Because there's a lot of...
I'm not talking about UK.
Not,
I'm not talking about UK either.
No, I'm talking about like Brooklyn, Bronx folks that are lyrically 10 times better than Pop Smoke, I feel.
Put me on.
But the music... I can see why someone would say the Pop Smoke music generally is like a vibe. It's dope. It's Brooklyn. You know, Brooklyn's a little more swagged out in that way. Mm. But there's so many amazing lyricists who are like just as good, if not better, and younger.
I'm just saying who's making better songs, period. I mean, lyrics, yes. I mean, I'm always here for good lyrics, but including that, like who's making the best overall songs?
I think there's
in comparison to Pop Smoke.
There's crews out there that are making better. I don't want to say better. They're good. They're great. They're at that level.
Put me on.
41.
Okay.
They're fantastic.
I'll check it out.
I showed you some Jen Carter stuff. Remember the Jen?
You mean at your crib?
Yeah. And it was like a black and white music video.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of that.
You didn't like that? Okay. Maybe it's not for you. Because that's like the vibe nowadays. A lot of great cats out there. D-Thing is great.
A lot of people struggle to rap on beat, and that also bothers me.
She was on beat.
I mean, I got it. I mean, I'm not coming at her or like I'm not talking about her specifically, but when I think of like current drill outside of Pop Smoke, like a lot of it is in terms of, like the beats are fire. MCs, I want to hear better.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
As someone who listens to this genre pretty often, I agree.
And we need that. We
trash, bro.
We need that in New York because there's too much like hype. There's just too much hype. There's too much like people gassing each other. Like, and I've been around it because I've taught kids, and I've seen how like they hype each other up. Like at the end of the day, like it's fun and it's cute, but like again, this is where my competitive nature comes out. It's like, nah, this is some real shit. Like, and it's why I got upset when I had many mixed feelings about the Kendrick concert, about the pop out. Like on one hand, it's a great moment for hip hop, great moment for the West Coast. Happy for them, but on another note, I'm also upset for New York because like who's the leader of the new school that can do what he did right now? We don't have that.
Yeah, I agree.
Not in the way that he did it. We have people who can like bring people out on stage and stuff, but like we need somebody
Only a legend could do that. Only Hov could do that.
Exactly.
But
Hov
not
could do it.
Newer. Well, Kendrick is kind of old too, though. Not for
ASAP could bring people out. Like Rocky could bring people out, but again, just like the moment, like he doesn't have the lyrical ability in the way Kendrick does to
I think
hold the position that he's holding as like the clear like king of the West Coast.
front runner. This is my shit. This is my coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
No, I understand. Yeah, I agree 100%. New York is missing like content, like good content. I feel like there's a lot of cloud chasing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And again, as someone who's an avid listener, like I listen to some of the shit and it's good, but it's very easy to see that when someone's in it for like the money of it, which is, again, it's fine. It's fine. You could support your family, do what you want to do, but like, this is an art form that literally started in this fucking city. That needs to be valued and cherished. I don't think there is an artist in the past 10 years that's really taking that into consideration and like elevating the fucking craft of it.
Because I mean, the thing is, like Kendrick is interesting because he's not a traditional West Coast rapper. His cadences were influenced a lot by Lil Wayne and Wu-Tang.
Andre Nas,
yeah, Eminem,
yeah,
like Jay-Z, like he has a lot of influence from many other places, and that's not to take anything away from him or say he's not West Coast or anything, but clear difference between like how he sounds and how like Corrupt or like E40 or Too Short, you know, like their cadence, everything about them is just like West Coast. Kendrick is not able to be put in a box. Period. You can't place him by location. Where he makes up for that is in his beat selection and his how he showcases his city and puts his city on display. Like in most videos, like the Be All Right video, you know, the dances they do out there. Like that's a big thing with the Not Like Us video. Like the way he really stands for his city, and he stayed true and consistent to like carrying on Tupac's lineage, or like the he wants to like take the baton from Tupac and like carry it on to the next generation. To your point, New York needs someone who we have a lot of people who are like purists and just like are more like old school and do the boom bap thing. We have people, and then we have like a divide of people who are like just like, nah, drill's our new shit, and like we don't fuck with that old shit, like and
or they sample the old shit,
or they sample the old shit,
which I do appreciate.
Yeah, I do too. But I just don't think that like Kendrick is a student first and foremost, and we need people who are more mindful in that way, like who really who aren't doing it for the attention and for the money. Like it's okay to lean into that somewhat, and like not saying, you know, obviously Kendrick is making a lot of money and getting a lot of attention, so obviously, you know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing to get attention or money, but I think at the foundation, Kendrick cares about the craft, the culture, the history, and that's something I also want to be mindful of too, as I continue to develop and craft my sound, of like what is the through line, what is the theme, the motifs that I can like take with me and continue to develop to develop a sound that's like representative of the experiences I've had. So like I think sampling is a great way to be true to like to New York hip hop, you know, and how you sample and choosing what to sample. For me, I have to throw Caribbean flavor in there because that's me, and that's also a very New York thing. You got a lot of Caribbeans out here too.
Definitely.
And these are the solutions. These are the ways that I'm trying to like figure it out for myself to like want to like eventually get there. But yeah, we need, like you said, like we need people who really care about music and the history of what we got, and not be stuck in the past either.
Yeah. That's key, actually. That's what made the Not Like Us song and that pop-out show so special, is the fact that Kendrick was able to do what you just described right now, and that's like assess his upbringing and bring in cultural currency. You're not of this culture. I'm gonna show you my culture. This is where I come from. I'm gonna sound like the people from around here sound like. The beats are gonna sound like that too. Got mustard on this shit. That's what made that fucking clapback. Whether you like the song or not, it was over because of that. I think it's that what you mentioned about tapping into what you grew up on and how that's like motivating you to like craft your sound is exactly where I'm at too. Cause I'm uptown to the fucking max. You know that. Harlem Heights, Bronx, that's to a T. Seeing this battle, like if I were to ever battle Drake, it got me thinking about that. Like I could tap into the cultural currency of these three respective fucking places and go to work. Musically, lyrically, that's not even, of course. You know what I mean? But musically, that's where you would go to. And not even talking about battle, none of that bullshit. I'm talking about just who you are as an artist. Like, put a stamp on those three fucking places. That's where I'm from. You could still catch me there to this day.
Who would you say are your biggest influences regionally and like uptown, just in general? Like who comes to mind to you often when you think of like, nah, I have to keep this alive?
Okay, Harlem is tough because I had. I mean, fuck it, Puff.
Oh wow, okay,
that's real.
Yeah,
that's
I
real.
mean,
nah, fuck it. It's real.
Okay.
But also,
I respect your honesty.
It's real
in this moment.
I'm gonna be real. Let's talk about impact.
Yeah,
man produced.
Put all the other shit aside for a second and just talk about.
But
music.
yo, Dipset, come on now. Oh my God, their music video. Like I know these spots. Some of them don't exist nowadays, but like it's so nostalgic to see their music videos now. Cause I'm like, yo, that's 145th, and like I remember that store used to be like. Yeah. People talk like, yo, pause. Like, that's so fucking Harlem. Like, I love the way Harlem dudes talk. That shit is mad funny to me.
Yeah.
Which is why I love Mason Cam show. It's just so funny because that's Harlem personified. But also going back, like the jazz cats used to run that fucking shit. Like Bird, Parker, Dizzy, Bird and Parker are the same person. Dizzy. Yeah. That bebop shit is different. Skill level that's on a different fucking plane. Like Miles is dope, but that's the cool jazz is meant to be cool. Like we're just chilling, we're having a good time. These motherfuckers, they were just they were like, it was like crack. It was smoking crack before crack was crack.
Yeah,
that was that shit. Musicianship was on a different plane. I love that. I love that jazz shit. Still on Harlem, the Poets from back in the day.
The last Poets?
No, I'm talking about Harlem Renaissance, okay. Like 1920s kind of vibe. There was a lot of great poets that moved into Harlem, like the Strivers Row area specifically, that were dope. I mean, even today, there's a lot of great spoken word artists like the Strivers Row. There was a group called Strivers Row not too long ago. They were amazing. Some of them are not from Harlem though, but still. So Harlem is rich. Harlem is so rich in culture, man. Like so fucking rich. There was a lot to say about that, but I'm gonna just move on. In terms of the Heights, I mean, the Heights to me is very.
I'm just saying Uptown in general. You ain't gotta go like.
Oh, okay.
But like who?
I mean, there's too many to even name.
But like who would you say your most like? If you can give a top few.
Big Pun, obviously. KRS from a music standpoint, yes, but mostly from a like teacher, philosophical, like this is hip hop,
Yeah.
real hip hop shit standpoint. Definitely KRS. All the founding fathers, including Bam. This is gonna be controversial, but I'm gonna say Bam too. Fuck it. Who else? Uptown. I fuck with Cardi heavy. A lot of Cardi hate, but she's holding it. I mean, she needs to put out more. She needs to put on another album.
That's what the cry. Like that's what the outcries are. I'm hearing her. Like,
why is she doing
6
this,
years since. I mean, she got pregnant, had a baby.
Yeah. Life happens. I guess.
Life happened.
But I fuck with Cardi's energy.
And I feel like she was always in this to like make money and become a star. I don't think she was like, I'm about the craft.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know her, but that's.
I feel like it's 50-50.
That's what it seemed like on the outside looking in.
To me, it's 50-50 with Cardi. I feel like her music is her personality.
Y'all ride for Cardi in a way I will never understand.
Really?
But I like Cardi. Y'all from the Bronx,
y'all
like y'all from the Bronx.
Okay.
Bronx, yeah, all y'all Bronx people.
I feel like Cardi's so big though. I feel like Cardi's hive is her hive extends way past the borough of the Bronx.
In Queens, we ain't looking at Cardi the way y'all look at Cardi, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, the love is different.
Yeah. It's just like, all right, New York, like, I mean, Cardi makes cool songs. That's it. That's as far as it goes for me. It's like, I like some of the songs.
Respect.
Yeah.
I think also for me, the fact that hip hop and salsa were both born in the Bronx. Yeah. That's like I mean, I didn't grow up. I'm not Puerto Rican or Cuban, so salsa is not a big thing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't grow up listening to salsa as much. But it was still around. You still hear it even walking down the street. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that's such a dope fucking thing that a lot of people came from PR to hear while the shit was so fucked up and managed to make something so beautiful, just like hip hop was also a thing as well. That a lot of Puerto Rican folks were instrumental in like making that a thing as well. So, just that generally is dope. Shout out to, I would say, Hector Lavoe, Willie Colon, the two big names in salsa that were fucking shit up in the Bronx and Uptown.
Willie Colon's dope.
Different.
For me, for Queens, it's I think my top is just like G Unit and Mobb Deep. Okay. Like those are the sounds I feel like I would want to lean into in the future. Like they're going into the future of how do I keep like this alive? Havoc is one of my favorite producers for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why that's surprising to me.
I don't know. Anytime I'm leaning into boom bap, like Havoc is, or pulling from that influence, Havoc is top of mind.
Okay.
Yeah. The samples he chooses. I love his like one note bass lines, like the textures, like, yeah.
Okay.
That's Queensbridge, but I grew up in Jamaica and you know G Unit, just like Lloyd Banks, one of the best rhyme schemes like ever, like one of the best rhyme schemes. PLK. There's obviously a lot more names, but I think those two would be the most influential.
I've said it many times before. I think Queens is the best borough for hip hop.
On that note, we can end right there. I'm not objecting to that shit. I mean, we do have to go, but I'd like to give you.
That's a crazy note to end on. But it's true.
I do have to give you. I mean, please explain yourself.
The legends, man. So too many legends. I think Brooklyn comes close. I'm sorry to negate the Bronx again, but let's be real. In terms of artists who've come out, LL Cool J, Nas.
You don't need to enter witness protection program after this.
I might, right? I have to go somewhere in Brooklyn after this, and I think I might just stay here for like the next week or so.
Yeah,
Too many, bro.
Lay low.
Way too many. Yeah, come on, bro.
All right, so who comes to mind for you? I mean, so like, because I know you're also thinking like LL, Run DMC.
I mean, everybody from then till now, even Nicki, right? Nicki's from, or she
Nicki,
Brooklyn?
Queens, Jamaica.
Come on, bro, 50, yo, come on. That shit is crazy to me.
Yeah. Nah, it's my
Def
beat.
Jam in general,
Yeah.
you could say Queens. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you fucking need.
What, Def Jam is a label? We going?
Yeah.
Because they signed a lot of Brooklyn rappers.
They did, but
And Philly.
think about who started. I mean,
Russ
Rick Rubin.
and Russ.
I don't know where. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In terms of Queens, I'm not sure where
Yeah.
Rick Rubin's from, but yeah, I think that's Def Jam is definitely. I would give Queens a big like, yeah, this is ours type shit. You know, like if I was from Queens, Def Jam's us, nigga. You know what I mean? I would go crazy. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
bro, Nas, bro, that's all you need too. Come on, bro. What are we talking about right now? Come on. Roxanne Shante, if you want to go back in terms of like iconic female rappers, like it's over.
overrated, but I'm sorry.
What?
But Roxanne, Shante.
How come? Just one song?
Yeah.
She got fucked up though. And the industry was not kind to her.
Okay. I don't know about that story.
You should
so.
see her movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
Really good. They have a young Nas in there too. It's funny.
Okay.
But really, really dope.
I'm open.
And by the industry, I mean, what's the Juice Crew?
But the story, as I understand it, is that she could freestyle.
Yeah.
So she'd beat people that way because it's like some people, I think in the evolution of an art form, sometimes people are at the right moment at the right time with the right skill set, and that's what I think.
That's one of those moments.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
freestyled that entire diss record.
But in terms of being named with like Nas, it's like nah.
I think
Sorry. There's a difference between a pioneer
legacy though.
and there's a difference between a pioneer and a legend, to me.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So she's a pioneer. I don't look at her as a legend.
Okay. People might disagree, but I respect that take. I respect that, and I think I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, I've met Kool Herc before.
Word.
It was not a great experience.
What? Really?
Forgot to add that earlier, but yeah, for me,
What happened?
I was at the Andrew Freeman home, which is that big mansion that's right across the
Yeah.
street from where I live. North used to do these like open mics out there.
Right.
So I would pop by, and I would hear that Kool Herc used to come by because he had an office space somewhere up there. So I was chilling by the door, and I looked to my right, and that ass Kool Herc was standing right there. I said, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Should I say it?" I'm like, "Fuck it." Are you Kool Herc? He said, "Maybe." And then we just gave him a pound. I'm like, "Yo, thank you for everything you've done in terms of laying the foundation to this shit. Like, thank you for being you." He said, "I appreciate it." You could tell he was very like you know. So I was just trying to leave it at that. Here's where the story takes a turn. North was like, "All right, yo, let's put on some beats. People freestyle. Let's go." I'm like, "I gotta freestyle in front of Kool Herc. I have to." I went up, and like I've said before on this a couple minutes ago, I am not a freestyler at all. I went up on that mic. I don't even remember what I said, but it was straight bullshit. My son Kool Herc said, and walked right out. I said, "Oh my God." He stood there. At least 3 rappers went before me, and he was like listening. As soon as I hopped off the mic and started rapping my bullshit, he said, "Yo, I'm out of here, guys. I got
shit
it."
haunts your nightmares.
I
I
said,
bet. But why wouldn't you go with a written, bro? There's no shame in
I know.
no shame in using a written.
I didn't even know if I had one at that moment in time. I did mostly spoken word at that time, like, you know what I mean. But
Yeah, sometimes it's best not to just do nothing.
even that,
sometimes-
even a poem would have been nice
Sometimes you should just do nothing.
and just be there. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
That's true. My ego took over. I said, "I got to."
Yeah. But yeah, I do have to go. Thank you for pulling up, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it. This is great.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the show.
Great. Thank you. Great conversation as expected. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be another one at some point in the future because I'm going to keep doing this until
Please do.
forever.
Yeah.
Or until whenever. I don't know.
Bigger and better.
Yeah. All right, bro.
My G. I ain't gonna lie to you.
What?
It's that pop. Yeah. It's kind of hot in her. Where's Nelly? Do you remember that KRS and Nelly beef?
No, but that has no business being.
That was the wackest shit in hip hop ever. Unless you want to do it.
Oh, it looks like it may have cut off early.
Oh shit, how early are we talking?
No, not super early, but it seems like overheated. I don't blame it.
I mean, it was on for a minute.
This is it usually doesn't do that, but I think it's just the temperature in the room. If you're lucky, it's at the point where you said Quiz has the best rapper.
It said you right before you even said it.
I got the audio though.